Welcome to your meditation. I'm Becky, and I'll be your guide. As you prepare for the meditation, allow the breath to be relaxed and even. If you're in a sitting posture, have a goal to keep your back straight-ish and your weight evenly distributed, but don't stress about it. If you're inclined to lie down, do it. Finally, it's a great idea to have your headphones on or your earbuds in. We use binaural stimulation and music to enhance the meditation experience. And of course, protect your solitude from interruptions. You're about to be led into a world of red rock, where spirits whisper and stone arches thrust up out of an ancient seabed. Can you see it? Close your eyes. Breathe in deep. Let the breath out. Now, you're ready to journey. It's daybreak. You're threading your way through a winding slot canyon, layers of multicolored rock rising vertically on either side of you. You've come to this part of the world in search of treasure. A few days ago, a friend from childhood left a simple text message for you with a link to a topographical map where the numbers 1, 2, and 3 signified key landmarks along the terrain. You have no idea what the treasure is. The message you received was cryptic. All it said was, "Find what is marked to become the marked." The invitation definitely piqued your interest. Intrigued, you decided to set off. And now, with the printed version of that same map stashed in your pocket, the edges already fraying because you've handled it so much, you're deep in the canyon that appears on the map with a small number 1 inscribed on it. This was the starting place, the spot where the geocaching was meant to begin. On the map, it looked tiny, easily navigated, but the reality has proved to be something else. A narrow canyon which is more like a network of canyons, with corridors that snake off from the main one like vessels from an artery, leaving you unsure at times. Are you still in the main corridor? As your hands trail along the canyon walls, the stone is cool and smooth to the touch. Though it's shadowy down here in the narrows, the sunlight patchy, you marvel at the colors swirled into the stone that forms the walls. Russets, oranges, ambers, even pinks. There's a palpable energy here. With your hands brushing the rock as you go, you can almost hear the hum of the earth. Your head goes back when you hear the piercing cry of a hawk circling high above you in the sky. Some primal part of you connects with the sound. Into your mind flashes a startling thought. What might it feel like to have the bird come to land on your outstretched arm? Breathe in possibility. Breathe away distraction. Let the flats of your hands keep moving along the stone walls that flank you. Imagine pulling energy from the rock, breathing it in through your fingers, feeling it travel through you. When the hawk's cry sounds again, you notice a tingling sensation starting up in your hands, and you have the sudden awareness that wherever your hands roam along the canyon walls, the rock lights up and begins to glow. Beneath one hand, the stone glows a dark orange, and as you swirl your hand, the light follows your touch, creating a luminescent trail. Beneath the other hand, the wall glows a deep crimson, and as you move your hand in a circle, a A circular trail of light marks the rock. Your hands take turns, swirling light around on the walls. And you watch as the stone becomes a canvas for the shapes you draw. Numbers, infinity signs, stars. You try pressing your palm to one spot, and when you lift your hand, there's a bright circle that glows a deep amber. Like a tiny sun, you think to yourself. An unexpected drop of water lands on your cheek, and your head goes back. High above you, clouds are gathering. There was no rain in the forecast, but if it begins to fall, you'll have to get to higher ground fast. You need to move. Up ahead, the canyon forks, and you come to a stop, unsure which way to go. You pull the map out of your pocket, unfold it, and let out a sigh of frustration. Another drop of rain lands on your cheek, and a sense of urgency spirals up through your stomach. You thrust the map back in your pocket, and your gaze catches on what looks like a petroglyph etched into the canyon wall. You step closer to examine it. A crudely drawn, long-haired figure stares back at you from across the centuries. It could be a woman, you're not sure, but her arm is flung out as if to point the way. Your hand goes to the drawing. Your fingers trace the outline of the figure, and it begins to glow a deep indigo blue. After a moment, you choose the passageway to which she seems to be pointing, and you start into it. Overhead, the sky darkens. Thunder rumbles in the distance. Your eyes are scanning this stretch of canyon, searching for a spot where you might be able to scramble up and out. When a bolt of lightning plunges from the sky, the white-hot flare lighting up a cavern into which this canyon seems to open. You move quickly. You stumble once. You keep going. Thunder growls. Lightning strikes again. The canyon walls ignite, then go dark. The negative afterimage glowing on the undersides of your eyelids as you blink once, twice, 3 times. Now, you're rushing into the cavern. It's actually a bowl, open to the sky up top. Its curved, tapering sides stacked with color, each hue belonging to a distinct layer of sandstone. There's a crack of thunder that startles you. The world flashes neon white, and your body goes still as the figure of a sitting human flickers, backlighted by the bolt of lightning that strikes somewhere near the opening above you. Your mind goes to the petroglyph. Was it a woman? And now this figure seated in the dimness. Is it imagined or real? You're too shocked to guess. Yet here in the dim light sits someone who seems the living embodiment of the glyph. A woman, you decide. She's positioned in the exact center of the cavern floor, cross-legged, her hands resting lightly on her knees, her shaman's gaze trained on you. Her thick gray hair hangs to her waist, and the whites of her eyes seem to glow as the lightning flickers. You're frozen to your spot. Neither of you moves or speaks. Raindrops begin to fall, and you begin to shiver. Your arms fold across your chest as you hug yourself, trying to stay warm. The woman's chin comes up, as she nods at something leaning against the far wall. Your eyes narrow as you try to focus, and you see what appears to be a tall ladder made of thin logs. But as you start toward it, she motions you to come closer. You're hesitant. There's a strangeness about her. She seems more spirit than human. But her command feels definite. When she reaches for your hand, you offer it to her, and she pulls you closer, gripping your wrist with surprising strength. Her touch is firm but oddly energizing too, and to your surprise, she begins tracing a curious shape in your upturned palm. You watch, transfixed, as she draws something circular with the tip of her index finger. A multi-pointed star, perhaps? She traces it a second time, then lifts her serious eyes to yours. You feel your brow furrow in confusion, which prompts her to trace the shape a third time. And now, a kind of henna tattoo slowly begins to glow in your palm, in the shape of a sunburst, the delicate tracery acquiring a deepening rust color, as if it's being inked on your skin as she draws. You stare down at your glowing hand. The sign of the sunburst feels like an omen. What does it mean that you've been marked? She releases your hand and nods again in the direction of the ladder, and you back away from her, stumble off toward the far wall of the cavern, and grab hold of the ladder. You notice that the elements have smoothed the wooden rungs, which are lashed to the side rails with what might be strips from the hide of some ancient creature. All at once, the sky opens up, and the rain pours down. You climb as fast as you dare, your feet nearly slipping as this microburst thoroughly soaks you. When your hands grip the top rung and you peer back through a sheet of rain into the shadows of the cavern, lightning flickers once more, and the woman vanishes. As you climb out over the lip of the cavern and get shakily to your feet, you surrender to the moment, your head going back as you stand, letting the falling water paste your hair and your clothing to your skin. A few more seconds, and it lets up. The rain fades to a light drizzle. The clouds begin to break apart. The sun lights up the world, and an instant heat arrives. Thirsty, you take a drink from the water pouch slung across your shoulder, replace the lid, and set off again, soaked to the skin but newly energized. You see that you're on a plateau dotted with tangles of scrub oak and sagebrush. The rain has moistened the red sand, leaving puddles here and there which glisten as they catch the light. You pull the map out to check it, and you're startled to see that the number 1, which appears next to the narrows, begins now to glow a faint red, as if lit by some heat source beneath the paper. A tiny tendril of smoke rises from the burning number, and then a gust of wind carries the smoke away, and the 1 fades to black. Your head comes up, and you glance around you. You believe you've arrived in spot number 2, a place the map calls the Hidden Plateau. As you bring your hand up to shield your eyes from the bright sun, you can see off in the distance a giant fist of rock with an opening in the center of it. A stone arch. You've heard about them but never seen one. It's enormous, probably several stories tall. But what's most striking about it is its color. A deep, rich clay red. Gripped by a powerful urge to climb it, you set off in that direction. An hour passes. Your clothes have dried. The sun bakes your skin. The sky is a deep, intense blue. Off in the distance, the arch waits, and yet you feel no closer than when you started. Soon it's midday. The arch still rising, huge and tantalizing out on the horizon, but you are definitely no closer to it. You wonder if it's a trick of the light, whether you're seeing things that aren't really there. Maybe this country is bewitched, and you're doomed to walk in circles while believing that you're moving forward. Frustrated, you pull out your map and stare down at it. Yes, the hidden plateau appears right there on the paper, with a distinct 2 in the center of it. But there's no mention of the arch, and you're confused about why something so massive could have been omitted. You refold the map, slide it back in your pocket, and take another long swallow of water. You keep trudging. As the sun begins its descent, you realize you're playing games with yourself. Or maybe some cosmic force is playing games with you. You heave out a groan of defeat and stop where you are, letting your eyes close for a moment. Gradually, you become aware of the feel of the sun on your face. And as your eyes come open and you squint into the brightness, you have the sense that something unusual, even momentous, is happening. Your head turns away just a little because you can't handle staring directly into the light. But your pulse quickens as you see that the sun appears to be sinking down through the top of the arch. You watch, fascinated, as it bisects the midline, then slowly enters the portal, framed by red rock as it rests for one long moment in the exact center. Quickly, you pull the map from your pocket. Sure enough, the number 2 glows red now, a thin ribbon of smoke rising from it. A second later, the number cools and fades to black. You stuff the map back in your pocket, not bothering to refold it this time. Some primal knowing spreads through your chest, and you lift your tattooed hand and turn your palm outward so that the image of the sunburst faces the light. You stand like this, with the back of your hand to your forehead and your palm to the sun. And as you do, a lustrous warmth leaps into your hand, shooting up your arm and traveling into your body. You can feel that you're glowing from the inside. You lift your hand a little so you can see the sun hovering right in the center of the arch. And now you feel yourself being transported. Your posture doesn't change. Your body remains still, or seems to. But you know somehow that you're moving. A mighty wind seems to envelop you, rushing past you on both sides, filling your ears. In the time it takes for this thought to register, you're now standing directly in front of the arch. You plunge your tattooed hand out into the space where the sun seemed to hang just seconds ago. The air seems heavier here, like someone has thickened the oxygen so that it feels more like invisible water. As it seems to swallow your hand and now your arm, the air begins to shimmer and crackle. And once again, You heed your instincts, honoring the unmistakable impulse to step through the archway into the void. On the other side, it's night. A delicate crescent moon hangs low in the sky, just above the horizon line. Up ahead, a group of people are gathered, seated around a fire which sends sparks up into the air as a woman, your shamaness, stirs the coals with the stick she grips. Her white hair still hangs to her waist, but her ageless face is serene now. Her eyes lift, and one brow rises slightly as she acknowledges your arrival. Now she nods her head, affirming that you're free to approach the silent group and take a seat among them. As you settle into a sitting position with your legs crossed, you study your new companions. Clothed in the skins of the beasts they must have hunted, they could be demigods. They're built that powerfully, their bodies all muscle and hard planes. Their eyes settle on you as the woman says, "Ask your question." You don't have to think. The question forms spontaneously on your lips. "Is this the treasure?" you say. "Have I found it?" The woman smiles. Yes and no. The treasure lies in being marked for travel. You can feel your brows come together as you puzzle over her words. "As a traveler," she says, "you can go anywhere. Through space, through time." A log shifts in the fire, releasing a flurry of sparks. The hawk's piercing cry echoes. Your eyes dart to the woman, her smile lifting almost imperceptibly. Instinctively, you get to your feet. And as you're standing up, your arm going out for reasons you can't explain, the hawk sweeps down from the sky, its wings beating as it comes to land on your outstretched arm. The bird's wings fold against its body, and it trains its fierce, intelligent eyes on you. Something unspeakable passes between you, and you know it's a she. Your other hand lifts, the backs of your fingers stroking the bird's breast slowly, gently, just once. "You must be unusual," says the shamaness. "My bird rarely honors a traveler this way." You stare into the glittering eyes of the bird. The fire sends up another flurry of sparks. You find yourself wondering about the mechanics of traveling, how you'll ever do it again. But the woman already senses your question. "The tattoo will fade," she says, "but the marking is permanent." When you desire to travel, simply touch your palm to the light, as you did before, and you'll go where you're meant to go. Now, bring awareness to the feel of the bird's talons, resting lightly on your arm. Memorize the contours of the woman's ageless face. Remember the feel of the sunlight on your palm and the way it sends you traveling. This you will do again, you're certain of it. Breathe in possibility. Breathe away doubt. When you wake, you're lying on your back on the desert floor. The hard red sand is cool. You bolt upright. Not far away are the remains of a fire that burned recently, threads of smoke rising from the ashes. You feel around in your pocket for the map and pull it out. Your breath catches as you see a black 3 burned into one corner. Your eyes go to the henna sunburst on your hand, the design all but faded. You smile to yourself as you remember the face, the voice of the woman, your shamaness. When it's time to travel again, you'll know. You are a journeyer.